and take a look at what we've done so far. So far we have this image, which is a product of combining, using the Hubble palette, our three channels HA, S2, and O3, and we did a linear fit prior to that combination. We've cropped it using the dynamic crop feature, and then we ran DBE on edges and removed the gradients and vignetting. Then we did photometric color calibration, and then in our last video we ran the multilinear transform tool to remove some of the noise that is in the image, and we removed it with a preview mask that had been applied to a lot of the nebulosity, but not all. And we also protected the stars from smoothing our noise reduction. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a luminosity mask, and I think I mentioned on I'm getting confused doing a lot of these, but I think I mentioned in the last video that the video 11, part 11, was going to be on creating masks. That'll be part 12. I can't remember exactly what I said, but this is part 11, and this is going to be in creating a luminosity mask and putting that to work. So we're going to go to this icon right here, and we're going to extract the luminosity component, and give it a second, and here we go. We also need to stretch that, because again this is a image that is non-linear, that is linear. It has not been stretched. It is a linear image. We're going to put this back to bed because we no longer need it. We don't need it for a while. What we're going to do on this image is we're going to create a series of Lum Mask, and this one we're going to just title Luminosity Mask. And we're not going to stretch this mask yet because we're going to run deconvolution on it, and we're going to do that in a few minutes. But we are, during this video, we are going to stretch this mask, and we're going to change this to Galaxy Nebula Mask. I need an underscore. Okay, and what I'm going to really be looking for are two things. I want a star mask, and I also want a mask of the nebula, primarily just the nebula. So I'm going to have to stretch this image to run the star mask program, and to do that I'm going to go down and pull up histogram transformation, and I'm going to put this back in its pre-stretched state. I'm going to click on a real-time preview. Now there's several ways that you can use this. You can stretch this image up here and put this arrow, triangle, into this, and then apply that. But that's how. But I'd prefer to stretch it to my taste. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is the Nebula Mask. So I'm going to go over here for the view, and I'm going to pull up the Nebula Mask, and then I'm going to move this slider there and apply that. I'm going to reset and move it again and apply that. I'm just in the habit of doing this in successive states. I'm going to move to where about there, and I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move this back again, and I'm going to apply that, and then I'm going to reset, and I'm going to probably darken this a little more because I want, this is a mask now. This isn't my luminosity mask. This is what I'm going to use for my stars and my galaxy. So I want a lot of contrast here, like that. Okay, maybe even clip some more darks, which is fine. Again, we're making mask. A little bit too much. Okay. All right. We're finished here, and we're finished with the real-time preview. Now I'm going to bring up the StarNet, and StarNet now is I think this is part of one of our new processes in the I'm not positive. This may be something, yeah, it's right here. So bring up StarNet, and I'm going to click on Create a Star Mask, and I'm going to apply that. It's going to take a minute or two. Okay, it just finished, and we now have two masks. This is the result of having run StarNet. I have a star mask, and we're going to use that later when we do our deconvolution of our luminosity layer. I'm going to put this over here is where I'm going to start stacking my mask that I'm going to be using. I might as well go ahead and take my luminosity mask and move it over here. I need a copy of that too for my luminosity layer. And then this is our Nebula Mask, and we're going to move this over. Let me get a copy quickly. I'm going to pull this off. I'll put that back. I'm just going to call this Lum. This will be my luminosity layer. It'll be on this layer that we applied deconvolution later. Again, you apply your deconvolution when you do on an unstretched or a linear image. So we're going to put our Loom up here with our other data, and when we come back we will be looking at creating all kinds of masks besides these three: the luminosity mask, the star mask, and the nebula mask. Masks that we're likely to use at some point in time in the processing. So with that being said, look for you on the next video.